Welcome to Inside British Royals. This is your exclusive look inside the world's most famous family. We are exploring the scandals, secrets, and power plays that define the modern monarchy. If you are new here, please do well to hit that subscribe button for more updates. When you're in a crisis, the first rule is to be clear. But in the face of a scandal that just won't die, Buckingham Palace has done the exact opposite. A long-awaited official response to the latest Prince Andrew allegations, a statement meant to calm the waters, has instead made them even choppier, leaving royal supporters confused and critics feeling totally justified. As the royal family tries to put distance between themselves and this spiraling disaster, their own words are being seen as a huge miscalculation. Here's why the palace's latest PR move is creating more questions than answers. The trouble started with a statement from Buckingham Palace around February 9, 2026. It came after the anti-monarchy group Republic filed a complaint, prompting police to assess new claims against Andrew. The statement said King Charles III had profound concern over allegations that his brother, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, had shared confidential government documents with Jeffrey Epstein. It noted the king had shown this concern in words and through unprecedented actions, and said the palace would help the police if they were to get in touch. But it was the statement's careful, almost lawyerly, language that really got people talking. It said the specific claims were for Mr. Mountbatten-Windsor to address, which was a clear attempt to build a wall between Andrew, the man, and the institution he represents. For royal watchers, that's the heart of the blunder. The statement felt cold and clinical. It offered support for the process of justice, but stopped short of the outright condemnation many felt was needed. To the public, it looked less like strong leadership and more like a confusing, calculated attempt at damage control. To really get why this statement is seen as such a misstep, you have to look at the timeline. This isn't a new problem. It's the latest chapter in a slow-motion catastrophe the monarchy has been failing to contain for years. The latest fire was lit on January 30th, 2026, with the release of the Epstein files, a massive dump of 3.5 million pages from the U.S. Department of Justice. Buried in those files were emails that appeared to show Andrew, during his time as the UK's Special Representative for International Trade, forwarding confidential government documents to Jeffrey Epstein. That's what triggered the complaint from Republic and led to the police confirming they were assessing the information. It's important to be clear. Andrew has not been arrested or charged, and the palace says police haven't contacted them. But the fact that police are formally looking at it is a huge deal. Of course, this is all happening after years of scandal. His disastrous 2019 BBC Newsnight interview, where he famously claimed he couldn't sweat, was a PR nightmare he never recovered from, and it forced him to step back from public duties. Yet it took until October 2025 for King Charles to finally strip him of his titles and the use of His Royal Highness, a move many thought was long overdue. It's this whole history of what looks like delays and protection that makes the palace's latest words ring so hollow for so many people. The latest fallout has also highlighted what seems to be a fractured strategy inside the royal family, which only adds to the public's confusion. The Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Kate, have taken their own, slightly different path. During a royal tour of Saudi Arabia in early February, their spokesperson made a point to tell reporters that their thoughts remain focused on the victims. This deliberate focus on the victims, rather than the institutional process, was a subtle but powerful move. It aligned them with public feeling and created a bit of distance not just from Andrew, but from the palace's emotionally detached crisis speak. This move also lines up with what royal commentators have been saying for years, that William, along with his father, believed Andrew's royal career was toast a long time ago. They reportedly pushed for a much tougher approach, in contrast to the late Queen Elizabeth's instinct to protect her son. King Charles is in a tough spot. As the monarch, his primary duty is to protect the crown as an institution, which has to appear unshakable. His statement reflects that, prioritizing the legal system over family ties. It's a cold, hard necessity to protect the monarchy, even if it means publicly sacrificing his brother. But that's probably why the statement feels so jarring. The public is used to the idea of the firm as a family, but in this crisis, it's crystal clear. The institution comes first. This is no longer just a royal scandal. It's becoming a political one that's testing the relationship between the monarchy and the government. The complaint that sparked the current police assessment was filed by Republic, an anti-monarchy group, which is a political act in itself. It shows that the old deference that once protected the royals is crumbling, and the potential legal danger for Andrew is serious. The offense he's been accused of, misconduct in public office, carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. While he hasn't been charged, and the police are just assessing the complaint, it shows there's a potential case to answer. This isn't just about public embarrassment anymore. It's about the very real possibility of a king's brother facing a criminal investigation. Conclusion. So what was the huge blunder? It wasn't one single word, but the overall effect of a strategy that feels completely out of tune with the public mood. At a time that called for moral clarity, the palace delivered legal jargon. They tried to build a firewall when the public was demanding they tear the whole thing down. The attempt to separate Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the private citizen, from Prince Andrew, the public figure, has backfired. In the public's mind, there's no difference. They see a man who allegedly used his royal status and a family that seemed to look the other way for far too long. The palace's statement of profound concern and support for the police feels hollow when stacked against that history. That's the source of all the confusion and anger. With the police assessing the situation, the palace is quickly losing control of the story. The central issue is no longer just about one man's actions, but about the stability of the crown itself. With his family publicly keeping their distance and political pressure mounting, Andrew is more alone than ever.